Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how to touch up and repair a desktop. Let's say that you've got your beautiful desk and accidentally one day, inexplicably, you decide to key your desk. Oh no. This we can touch up. Damage like this is hard to fix perfectly unless it's sanded back down, but we can get you by. Just reach out and ask for a fix kit. Tell us what color your desk is. We'll send you probably some stain, a little bit of clear coat, and some Q-tips, and probably a paper towel. So to fix it, first step is we need to dip a little bit of stain into that scratch. So we're just going to take a little bit of stain and dip it in there, and that alone is going to help hide that scratch, and then wipe away the excess. The finish is pretty tough, so it's not going to stay on the surface. And already that made a big difference, right? Like now it kind of blends in. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to fill it with a little bit of clear coat. Applying the clear coat can be a little bit trickier. If you swab it on the surface, you're going to end up with a big spot. So one trick I like is if you take a Q-tip and cut it in half, you'll get a little fine point. And then you can very carefully, no pressure me, dip the clear coat in there. And your goal is to almost kind of try to fill it, like a little river maybe. And again, it's not going to be perfect. When you fix something, you won't be able to magically unsee it. But if you do a good job, it'll blend away pretty nicely. We use waterborne finishes. When I worked in my family's custom cabinetry shop, I developed a nasty reaction to solvents, so I do not use them anymore in our shop. It's also nice not to dump VOCs into the atmosphere. Okay, so you can see that I've filled that with a little puddle of clear coat. Now we're going to let that dry, and as that dries, that's going to pull down or shrink, and it should fill in that scratch pretty nicely. While that dries, I'm going to talk about another type of flaw. Let's say that you accidentally pull a piece of pottery across your desk or something really sharp, and it scuffs the finish. Scuffs are a little tricky. Again, we use waterborne materials for safety and health and well-being and for the environment's sake. But they are a little bit difficult to repair this type of a scratch. In a case like this, I would take a little bit of clear coat and apply it over the surface, and very artistically, you're going to wipe away the excess. And try not to drag it all around your desktop. And then the best you're going to do is you're going to leave that. Now it's going to make the scratch disappear. If you look at a scratch like that from the surface, from the top it looks kind of white, and so when you fill it in with finish like that, it'll kind of blend into the background. And you can see I kind of applied a big amount there, and then I'm just trying to wipe it away clean. The finish has some really cool properties. It's designed to self-level. So even though this may not look perfect, if you ignore it and let it level down and flatten, some of those ridges will go away. In this crack, the finish will pull down and flatten, so it'll look a little better too. Again, a fix like this is not a perfect fix. It's still furniture, it's still your desk, you still work here all the time, it's going to get some scuffs. That's just the nature of furniture. But a touch-up like this can improve things. If you really want perfection, that requires sanding it all the way down to bare wood and fixing it properly and refinishing it. And since that's probably not practical for most of us, this is not a bad fix. I'm going to pause and go dry this a little bit, and then we'll see how I did. Okay, thanks. Okay, so here's how I did. That original scratch I worked on, that's not bad. You can't, from the top it doesn't show up so much anymore. In the right light you can still see our little patch. But again, like, if our goal is perfect, you'll be disappointed, but it is an improvement over a nasty scratch. My scuffed areas are improved, but I see I wiped away too much. I forgot my own advice apparently. The finish really works best when it can develop a film to level out, and so when I was quote unquote artistically wiping it away, I was a little too aggressive and didn't let the finish do its magic. Let's see, and then kind of here as well. I've been finishing since I was in junior high school. I am now 40, so it's been a while. And finishing is still a trick, right? There's still part art and part science. But with repairs, it definitely takes a little bit of moderation. Okay, let's see. Here we go. I apply a little more finish, and my scuffs are mostly gone. In the right light, you can still see it, but again, that's an improvement. Just as a reminder of what we started with, our scratch here was something like that, and the scuff over here was something like that. So compared to that and that, I think we improved things. Another thing I should point out is this took me a couple tries, and I've been doing this a while. So if it's not perfect the first time, try again. And never be afraid to use a little bit of furniture cleaner. Test a little area to make sure you're not doing something heinous to your desktop. But I like this method stuff because it smells like almonds and it's a pretty color. But it's safe for wood, and so a little bit of furniture polish helps some of that stuff blend away too. Okay, if you have a bigger area, just be patient, take it a few steps at a time. Again, we're going for better than a rough scratch, right? And you can do it. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck. Thanks, bye.